Morning, snowy and cold Chicago. Just another day in the office. It's a Monday today, just a day after that 12-inch snow we just had. February 1st today. As the title says, I blew her head gasket. So, well, a little background info on the truck and myself. I drove, right after I got my CDL, I drove about 18 months and then as a company driver, and then bought the truck. It's a 2007 Freightliner Columbia. It's got a Detroit in it. I bought it with 950,000 miles. I know it was old. It was getting tired, but it was cheap. You know, something I thought at the time was something good to start with, being a really newbie to the owner-op game. The first problem I noticed about a couple months after I bought the truck was it was eating coolant. Not too much, but maybe about a quarter of a gallon every couple of days or so. It ended up being the EGR cooler. It was bad. Well, it was the water pump, the impeller completely disintegrated, and it was pushing bits and pieces onto the EGR cooler. Broke that. So it was leaking coolant from there. Got that fixed. You know, there was a good several months of clean trucking after that. And then well, I started driving in May, and then first week of December I started to notice coolant pushing out of the reservoir. So, you know, did a little bit of research, and then I guess it's really common for Series 60s to you know, it's either a blown head gasket or a cracked head or what have you, to push coolant, well, combustion gases, and pressurizes the reservoir. So took it to the mechanic where I always went and kept it for 3 days. You know, did his bypass the well, anyway, he did his tests to rule out the air compressor, which he did, and then he was telling me, he kept it for 3 days, and then he kept telling me that he couldn't find anything wrong with it. And then no bubbles in the reservoir, and you know, he basically he just slapped a new radiator cap on. So I guess you gotta start with the simplest things. So I understood, but you know, I drove it for a couple of days, and then it's still pushing coolant. So went to Harbor Freight myself, bought that, you know, that test for combustion gases, that the changes color. So did that, you know, first test right away, it just turned green. So I don't know, that mechanic told me that he did that test too, and then he said it never changed color, but I don't know, when I did it myself, first test turned green. But anyway, so that I guess confirms combustion gases on the cooling system. So you know, as far as I've researched, it's basically, you know, just the head or the head gasket. But either way, those have to go. From here, I basically decided to, you know, the truck was the truck's pretty good. The truck's pretty good. It runs good. I mean, it's not as smooth as a Volvo, obviously. It's a Freightliner Columbia, but it drives good, man. The transmission's still strong. The turbo's like a couple of years old, and I'm not ready to give up on it yet. So, you know, shopped around for a mechanic, found one that's highly recommended around my area, and you know, spoke to a couple of them, and then the problem is they're all booked, man. I mean, It's not even like a couple weeks. They're booked like a month, even more. So it came to a point where when I call them, my first question would be like, "Hey, how many trucks are in front of me?" Because it's just impossible to get your truck in. I settled on one shop that's supposed to be very good, expensive but good. I have no problem with that. But 5 trucks in front of me, so basically that's 5 weeks. And then I'm like, all right, just keep me on the list, because you know, I'm like 90% decided on rebuilding the thing. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm just going for the full overhaul. My truck's got like 1,050,000 miles right now, so they're gonna open it up. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan going forward. In the meantime, I'm in this super comfortable 2009 Volvo with a Cummins engine in it. Super. If you drive a Freightliner, you know, a Columbia, mind you, and then you drive a Volvo, it's like night and day, man. So yeah, that's the plan for now. I'm just fortunate that, you know, the company that I work for has company trucks available that I can drive in the meantime. So, you know, I'm not totally down. You know, I can take my time really researching shops and whatnot. So yep, that's the good part in all of this. So, and then I don't have to drive my truck with, you know, with this kind of weather. Going forward, I'm gonna keep you guys updated. It's just a bummer that, man, I made a YouTube channel, and then I did that, you know, that one video, day of the life of an intermodal driver, and then I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna do a walk around on the truck, you know, and then a couple weeks later it blew. So, well, hopefully I can do that after she's all rebuilt and whatnot, running in tip-top shape. So talk to you guys, be safe.